Hey people, a very warm welcome to all the beautiful people out there. How are all my lovely people doing today? जल्दी से मुझे comment section में देखना है that everybody of you are keeping it healthy and are doing perfectly right. जल्दी मुझे बता दो because today's class is going to be super duper rocking. Now why it is going to be super duper rocking? Because today हम कुछ पढ़ाई वढ़ाई की बात नहीं करने वाले हैं. We are talking about the future. Now, what is the future we are looking at? Think of it. Right now, we are in a situation. Everybody around the world is in a situation. And what is this situation, guys? The situation is we are dealing with the coronavirus. We are dealing with the past and present, that whether we will have a good future or not. But let's just keep all the misery around. It is just a simple way of actually looking at all the positive that we have. So keep the misery around and put it across the corner and look at all the futuristic things. The people who look and have an eye in the future are the one who actually change it. So why not we also start talking about it? This is one of the best way. If everything around is going negative, forget about it. Look at the positive that the future beholds for you. And that is what we are going to have today. So what we are going to have today? Let me just show you and open up the surprise box. Today we are going to talk about Hyperloop. Now, what is this Hyperloop? By the name, doesn't it sound very fancy? As if we are traveling between two dimensions, or maybe it is about time travel. That is very futuristic, right? No, people, we are not talking about that kind of future. कि चलो भाई space से बाहर चलते हैं. Let's take a troll out of the earth. No, we are not moving out of earth because this is the only place we live in for the while. This is our home in the whole of this यूनिवर्स. सो यहां से शिफ्ट होने के बाद में सोचेंगे. पहले देखते हैं what we can do the best on earth. And this hyperloop is actually not a phenomena of making you travel along the dimensions, but making you travel on earth at the fastest speed. That is why it is being written here, students. It is the future of the transportation. But it's a question mark. Now, this question mark is a very cool thing. Is it really? Can it really be? That is the question that we have to answer. And let's see, आज की class देने के बाद, are you able to answer this question or not? So people, come all, come one. Everyone is invited for this super awesome session where we are going to talk about a futuristic thing that is this thing really possible, or what is Hyperloop? Everything is going to be covered in today's class. But before we even begin, where we start with this, people, if you're coming, you have to like the video now, because then only I'll get to know that you're liking what we are bringing for you. If you're liking it, then we'll bring more of such content. So people, like for sure if you are actually enjoying the session with me. Who am I? My name is exactly written in front of you people. My name is Bhawna and I'm your physics master teacher at Vedantu. Now people, let's talk about future. Now, I like one guy very much, and that guy is not my parosi or somebody. This is the guy who is the most futuristic guy present on earth living. Now, who is this? Chalo, I'll just give you a hint. Let's see whether you can guess him or not. This person is the person in this world who is thinking about that other people's cannot. That is the out of the box thinking. For example, we have known traveling through outer space by rockets, but once it's gone, it's gone. It never comes back. This man has changed the theory. This man is trying to figure out the rockets which can go, come back and take for another ride. This is the cool change that we are actually looking at the space travel. I guess some people might have already guessed it. I would be looking at the comment section for this. Let's see how many of you guessed it. अगर इतना hint भी काफी नहीं था, तो then I have more of hints for you. This man has even been trying to change the way of transportation of the vehicles. We have been talking about the fossil fuels, their exhaustibility, their non-renewability and everything. But have we ever thought of one kind of stuff which we can actually went into and actually turn it out as the best part of it? I'm telling you, I'm giving you the name, practically giving you the name. The name is Tesla. One of the super amazing cars, super luxury, and it runs on one of the technique which will not be using fossil fuels at all. That is what is futuristic, guys. And the man have made it sure that future is not a copyright of anybody. He had made it not to be patent under his name. He said that everybody is free to copy his idea so that it can reach to masses. That is the man, and I am going to call his name to be right people as you're writing in the comment section. He is the Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX and Tesla, who has actually looked at future which nobody else is looking at. Now, the same man in 2012, yes, sir, that is the period, that is the time when he brought again a very revolutionized idea of Hyperloop. Now, what is this Hyperloop? This is the new way that we will be transporting if it can work out. But to understand whether it can work out or not, we have to first understand कि ये होता क्या है, कौन से खेत की मूली है, this Hyperloop. So let us start understanding ये Hyperloop है क्या चीज. So people, as I've already told you, this is the new or the ultra thing that will come in the future if can come. And who can bring it? Only one and only man, that is Elon Musk. So this would be the ultra high speed ground transportation. So we know people, everybody, I know that everybody has an imagination in your head that which is the fastest mode of transportation. Definitely it is not the ship, that is water comes at the end. Definitely roads and rails are faster than water, but there are some flaws in that. There would be traffic, the roads can be very difficult to make at some places. The road transportation has to be traveled over larger kilometers, and then we came across the transportation which takes from one place to another in hours. It's very fast, and we all are dependent. Today, the whole world has become one place because we can travel to any place very quickly by the air transport. Now, I say not water, not road, not the rails, not even the air. This is even faster than the fifth mode of transportation is going to be the most fastest mode of transportation we have ever known. For your instance, you can see if you are using a train that is very fast, it can reach up to a very high speed of 200 miles per hour. The aeroplane flies at a speed of 500 miles per hour. But if this hyperloop thing comes into the hand, that is, if future becomes the present, this can reach up to the higher speed of 760 miles per hour. That will make a journey. Let's just take an example here. Let's say I'm traveling from Delhi, that is where I live, to Bangalore. Now the area, the path on the road is more than 2500 kilometers, which will take me a journey of like around 42 hours in my car. If I'm taking it by a train, it will again take me around 39 hours. But if I take it by a plane, it will make me reach there by 2.5 hours or 3 hours. That is quite cool. But if I tell you that same journey via Hyperloop can be taken only in minimum of 45 seconds, sorry, 45 minutes. Will you believe it? Will you really believe it? Ki 45 minutes where we can cover all the journey, which is taking more than 3 hours from one place to another. That is what is Hyperloop. That is why this is the fastest mode. That is why we are looking at the future as the Hyperloop to be the fifth mode of transportation. Now, understanding the context, ki why we are talking about this as the future, let's understand how does it so fast. How does it go so fast? How it is the future of the transportation. So people, Hyperloop, it is described as a very different, like today we see the metro trains, we see the track being there all over the city. It's a web. The Hyperloop will have its own tube that will be growing through cities. So Hyperloop is described as a sealed tube, as you can see here. In this sealed tube, what is the purpose of this tube to be sealed? Now this sealed tube is made to counter the two forces which slows anybody. Now we know if I'm going fast, I'm going faster, I'm going faster, eventually I stop because of that necessary evil जो मेरा पीछा ही नहीं छोड़ रहा है. From my childhood, since the day I am born, it is going to stay with me till the time I die. That necessary evil that is making everything slow down, that is making everything stop eventually, is the friction. Right? Right? Now, if I just somehow remove this friction, will I attain really great speeds? The answer would be yes. Definitely and completely yes, if we can overcome the two kind of resistances that slow down a vehicle, that is air resistance and friction. What will happen, students? The speed can be attained will be very higher. So to attain that, we are using closed tube with low pressure of air. So what we are actually trying to create, we are creating vacuum inside these tubes. Now you may say, ma'am, vacuum, we can die, where we will breathe. So don't worry about your breathing. These hyperloops, which are having a tube which is made to have low pressure of air or vacuum in it, will be having a capsule full of people. So you will be safe and sound within the capsule of the tube of the hyperloop. So let's say if this is my hyperloop tube, if this is my hyperloop tube, you guys are not winning, right, staying in the vacuum. You guys are having a good air conditioned capsule which will be there inside the loop. This is the capsule which will be communicating or which will be transported from one point to another. So a capsule full of people in a low pressure tube is elevated on pylon, goes very fast. So we will be arranging a very cool network of the hyperloop tube around the cities, and we will be transported in the capsules. Now this sound very exciting, still very intriguing, right? Now what is this? How it is going to work and why we are actually choosing it? Let's look at this. The structure of the Hyperloop transportation, people, the passengers will be sitting inside the pressurized capsule that will ride on the cushion of air. Now, cushion of air, what do you mean by this? We are not on the ground, we are in the air. So isn't it air transportation? But no, we are not in the sky as well. We are fixed in a tube, but not on the ground, in the air. So it's very confusing, ma'am. Kya ho kya raha hai? It is like we are in the air, but we are not in the sky. But we are not even in the ground, but this is a transportation that will be actually on the ground. So kya ho kya raha hai? Let's understand this. So people, what I told you, there are two parts of Hyperloop. One is a tube which have very low pressure of air, or let's say zero pressure, that is vacuum. Then we talk about a capsule in which the people will be sitting. Now this capsule will be floating on air. Now you said there is no air, ma'am, there is vacuum. How we are floating on the air? Now this is the magic. Hyperloop is not just by attaining the friction or frictionlessness. It is also attaining the force which is pulling us down in any way. So one force, friction, out of the picture if vacuum is there and we are not in touch of the ground, super easy. The second is we are even countering the weight by actually levitating. Now what is this levitation? Now people, you must have seen all those magic shows where you see a person is being in the air, and that is like magic, how a person can be levitating in air. But then there are tricks to it. Here there is no trick, there is only completely purely science. Now, what is the science behind this and what do you mean by magnetic levitation? Now, you know, magnets have two poles. Now, whatever magnet I take, though I take a magnet which is this, like this, or I take a magnet which is cylindrical, all these magnets are having two poles. So, if I bring the like poles, they will stick together, right? But if I turn it around, then the world will change. When I try to bring it together, they will try to repel each other. They are trying to repel each other. So they do not want to stick together this time because they are repelling. Now, why do they repel? Because all the magnets have two poles. One is the south, another is the north. In is the north, and if I keep two north poles together, they will try to repel each other, making the two either not able to stick or making the one levitate in air. This is the same thing that the magnetic levitation is being used in hyperloop transportation. Now, what is going to happen in this? In the hyperloop transportation, we definitely have the hyperloop tube, which is created by the vacuum inside it, right? Then we have the transportation vehicle or the capsule we have talked about. Now, what happens inside it? We will be talking about electromagnets. Now, electromagnets are the magnets which give us power. We can make them stronger, we can make them weaker, we can make them change the polarity. We can do anything with electromagnets. So, let's say I have batteries here to make them electromagnets within the capsule. So, at the bed of the capsule, we will have a lot of electromagnets lying there. Other than that, at the bottom of your Hyperloop tube, what we have? We have another set of electromagnets which are of different polarity. Now what happens? The different polarity will be attracted. But if somehow I make it the same polarity, क्या होगा? The both will be getting repelled, and hence our capsule will be levitated in air, right? Even though there is vacuum around, there is nothing that the air is working for us. It is the magnetic force that is working for us. Then it is motors and generators which can pull this train forward, and it can reach up to the speed of 1200 km per hour, right? Now, when we talk about this, the magic is twice. It is not one. It is twice the magical thing, because one way we are creating vacuum within the tube, right? And the second, we are using levitation, that is magnetic in nature, to overcome both kind of friction, the air as well as the friction from the touch of the ground. Hence, when the friction goes to zero, when we are approaching frictionlessness, the speeds which we can approach is unimaginable. That is what I told you, that magnetic levitation has actually led to this. So let us just define what is magnetic levitation, people here. The magnetic levitation is the method by which an object suspended with no support other than the magnetic fields. So the two magnets being repelled because of the same polarity are causing the magnetic levitation. The magnetic force used to counteract this gravitational acceleration and any other acceleration is causing the hyperloop go faster and faster. So that is what is making this thing faster. Ab samajh mein aaya why we are talking about this to be the future. Now, can it be still the future? We understood what is Hyperloop, but can this be? This actually can be the future. This is actually the promising for the transportation energy, since there is no contact between the moving object and the track and there is no friction. We can reach the highest speeds of 1200 km per hour, that approximately equals to 1 kilometer in every 3 seconds. 1 kilometer in every 3 seconds. Can you believe it, students? It's the next level of it. When we are talking about this, how many people it can actually transport at one point? So the pod can take up to 28 passengers in its tube. And this is not just because of the speed we are talking here. The future has to be sustainable. And so is the Hyperloop, students. The Hyperloop is the cheaper mode of construction when it comes to the fastest train we know today, that are the bullet trains. Plus, the fuel that will be going in, it is nowhere comparable to the fossil fuels we are burning for the right now in the planes and in the trains. When we are talking about creating the energy to run it, still we are talking about electricity, and yes, it can be solar powered, it can be wind powered. So this is actually indeed one of the best mode to become sustainable, the fastest and the most futuristic mode of transportation we are looking at. This is what I had for you for today's session, and I thoroughly enjoyed with you, students. I hope you also did, and if you did, thank you very, very much. Just let me know if you did in the comment section and by liking the video, because that is the mode we look for you, that you really liked what we have. We will be bringing more such videos for you, more such content, more such fun facts, more such insights, more such positivity, and more such futuristic, like maybe we don't know who will come out to be the next Newton, the next Einstein, and the next Elon Musk out of you. Thank you very much, students. If you like the session, do like it and share with your friends. Subscribe to our channel and press on the bell icon for the notifications of all the new content we are bringing for you. Thank you very much. Have a great, great day ahead. Bye, people.